Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. Today I'm going to walk you through all 5 positions of the minor pentatonic scale in the key of A. Let's get into it. I think it's worth mentioning, I'll pop this on while I'm waffling. There's a free PDF that accompanies this lesson, first link in the description, of where I've got 3 separate diagrams, so hopefully there's one that you resonate with. You download it for free from the Facebook group, don't want anything from you, first link in the description. So, with 5 positions to walk through today, position 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which will get you playing the minor pentatonic scale all over the neck. Use the chapters and try not to take it all on at once, okay? I'd much prefer it that you dipped in, learnt one position, practiced it for a week or so, come back, did the second position, so on and so forth. And if you download the PDF that goes with this lesson, it'll be a lot easier to sort of keep track of where you're at. Okay, right. Position 1. So, all of the red notes on this diagram over here are what we call root notes. They're still to be played, but those are all A notes, which means we're in the key of A. All these shapes are movable if you want to move them into different keys, but let's get them in the key of A first, right? So, we're going to start all of the 5th frets in this position. We're going to play with the index finger. Well, then, you can either, on the 8th fret, you can either use your ring finger or your pinky. For today's lesson, I'm going to use my pinky, and all of the 7th frets, I want you to use your ring finger, okay? You'll see people like Rory Gallagher and Bonamassa who they tend to use the 3rd finger a lot, and I play like that, but I'm going to try and be politically correct today, if I can. So, 5th fret and 8th fret on the low E string, down and up picking, then I'm going 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. And that's on the A, D and G strings. As I move on to the B string, I'm going to go 5, 8, 5, 8. And these scales should be practiced forwards and backwards. Pause the video if you need to, or go away and practice that for a little bit. If you're okay with that, which I'm guessing most of you are if you're looking for the 5 positions, everybody gets a good grip of this one, but then it's this one and onwards it gets a bit cloudy. If you've skipped to this point, welcome, let's have a go. So we're going to go from the 8th fret of the low E string. Now it's really important, I want you to use your middle finger for this one, okay? Start with your middle finger because we're going to need the index finger to play that 7th fret behind it, okay? So we're going to go fret 8 on the low E, followed by fret number 10 on the low E, and then for the A and the D strings we're going to go index on the 7, pinky on the 10, index on the 7, pinky on the 10. Always makes me think of My Girl by The Temptations, that. Great study. If you're looking for something to learn, definitely go and learn that. So we've got 8, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10. Moving on to the G, we're going to go 7 with the index and then 9th fret with the ring finger. Then we're going to go, it's going to feel a little bit awkward as this, but I promise you it'll be worth your time as we start looking into major scales and stuff. This trips folk up if they don't do it properly. Moving on to the B string and the high E string, we're going to go fret 8, fret 10, fret 8 and fret 10. Now I want you to use, it's going to feel really awkward, I want you to use middle finger, pinky, middle finger, pinky for those. And then backwards. Pause the video if you need to. Number 3. I think it might also be worth mentioning, we're having some work done to the roof of the studio and I can hear somebody swearing, they must be struggling a bit. If that's coming through the mic, I'm really sorry, but I can't do a right lot about it. So, position number 3. Okay, so we're starting to get up towards the dusty end now, aren't we? So, on the low E, A and D strings, I'd like you to play fret 10 and fret 12 on each string before moving on to the next one. And I want you to use your index and index and ring fingers for these. 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12. Moving on to the G, we're then going to do a slight position shift down to that 9th fret, and we're going to play the the G string, and then we're going to play fret 12 with this pinky. We're going to do a position shift again as we go down, index finger and pinky again, but this time it's going to be fret 10 and fret 13. Then we've got fret 10 to fret 12. 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 12, 10, 13, 10, 12. It's kind of got a bit more of a sort of... It's kind of got a bit of a sort of oriental kind of vibe as that. It's cool, it's a nice scale. Pause the video if you need to. We're rattling through these at a rate of knots, guys. Go at your pace. If you need to pause the video, please pause the video. I get some people say that I teach too fast and some people say that I teach too slowly. I can't be both, okay? So just go at your pace and use the pause function. It's what it's there for, okay? Position 4, right, okay, we're up into the 12th position now. So we're going to play index on the 12, pinky on the 15, and then we're going to mirror that on the A string as well. So we're going to go 12, 15, 12, 15. We're then going to go 12, 14 on the D, 12, 14 on the G. I like this position and it's used a lot in a lot of rock music, but I feel like it's very similar to position 1 and sometimes you can get a little bit confused as to which one's which. E, A, D, G. As we move on to the B string, we're going to break out of that familiar shape and we're going to play fret 13 with the middle finger and then fret 15 with the pinky. And then we are going to play fret 15 with the index finger. Sorry, fret 12 with the index finger and then fret 15 with the pinky. 12, 15, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15, and then backwards. Okay, so from this point, we're going to go to position 5. Now, you would expect us to come up here. Now, you can do that, but we're going to go down here instead. So, sometimes, when it comes to playing shapes, you can play the same shape, but 12 frets higher. And that's called an octave. So, we've just been playing here. And his next logical step would be to come up again. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to exclude anybody on acoustic guitar that's doing this lesson, okay? So if you will do a whole lesson on moving up pentatonic shapes up the octave, I think I'll make a note of that. That'd be a really good idea. But for purposes of this lesson and so that everybody can get what they need to out of it, I'm going to take this and I'm now going to move down to the 3rd and 5th frets for this final position, because then you'll see my next position is position 1 and you've got real estate all over the neck. I hope that makes sense. If not, let me know in the comments and I'll sort of write it out. If I feel like we need a little bit more clarity in editing this video, I'll just put a chunk in or put it in the description for you. So that being said, position 5. Now, I like position 5 because it sits either side. It sits just 2 frets back from position 1 that everybody knows really well. And we've got fret 3 and fret 5 on the low E string, fret 3 and fret 5 on the A string. We're then going to come down and go fret 2 and fret 5, and I'm using index and pinky there. Moving on to the G, you've got fret 2 again, and then fret 5, and then coming back, B string and high E string, fret 3, fret 5, fret 3, fret 5. Can you see how the position is symmetrical, isn't it? The first half is exactly the same as the second half. I find that's cool for like country stuff. Rather than sort of bluesy. That kind of stuff. Right, anyway, I'm waffling. I hope that was helpful. If it was, let me know in the comments what scales you'd like to look at next. I will see you next week for another lead guitar lesson. Thank you so much.